amalgamation study on the gold futures contract GC using a 15-minute time frame. We're going to do this study slightly differently. Let's go straight in. Is bar A key reversal, and would we initiate position? Yes, it is a key reversal and we would take the trade. Why? Well, if we look here at A by merely eyeballing, it's a very difficult trade to take. However, we can analyze this deeper, use all our tools, and of course we can add structure, and all becomes apparent. So here, what can we see now? What is the background telling us? So now we have this structure in the form of a trading range. Bar A is a test after the backup to the edge of the creek setup. So this bar A is two things. A, it is a test, it is a key reversal, and it is also part of the backup to the edge of the creek setup. So this is a very, very important bar. I mean, ideally, bar A, we'd like to see close deep into this bar, or at least above this close. But we have to ask ourselves, what is bar A testing? Oh, what do we have here? Close off the highs, supply. What's this bar? Supply. Supply. Close off the highs, supply. So as we dip down to reverse and close back above support, this is a lovely little setup, a lovely trade that we can take. I'm sure many of you are thinking, is this a test bar? Is it a spring? Is it a key reversal? Yes, it's all of them. Technically, I would not call it a spring because we don't have much white space between this price action here. As we know, we like to have a clean anchor point, say here, we rally up and then we come back down, dip into reverse close ferns. We have all this white space. Here we don't have this. Importantly, you know what I'm going to say, labels unimportant. This bar here blurs the lines, and it's the behavior that we're interested in, which is the testing action. Like I said, we're testing for supply on these bars here, and we dip reverse to close firm. And ask yourself, at A, is the testing successful? Yeah, of course. Think of this. This is resistance for my trading here. Supply, supply. It holds, it holds, it holds, it holds, it holds. Then, as we break through this bar and we rally to one, look at this. Holds, touch, holds, touch. Even this negativity on this down bar here, we close off the lows. It holds. This bar holds. This bar holds. So now this resistance, as we know, the phenomenon of support and resistance, has now turned into support, and this bar is pushed back and held back above support. A very subtle but powerful tell. This bar A is an extremely high odds trade because of our background conditions. Think of the effort that happens at bar A. At some point it would be closed. The close would be like this. It would be printed like this, and it takes effort for buyers to drive it all the way back up to close above support. I mean, that is not coincidence. We can read this. We know there's supply all along here as the resistance has held. So as we break through, we come back. We've noticed we cannot close under here again. We have a back up to the edge of the creek with a lovely key reversal testing bar. To wrap this bar A up, It is a good place for long, as our story is of strength. We come from a trading range where we spring down here. I haven't spoken about this, but we spring strongly. We dip under all this price action, and what happens? It resolves itself with a brand new rally that breaks into highs, new highs. So this we would call a new momentum high. Then it comes back to test our area of structure on this bar, which is also the back up to the edge of the creek. There is a lot more to this chart. Here we go. Is B here a key reversal? And the answer is no. We want a firmer close, and we would like it to close deeper into this bar. I mean, it feels, well, we're drifting down. You know, we want something more obvious. We want it to at least close firm. I mean, bar A, although technically a down bar, it still closes firm. Here, we dip down, we try to hold, but look at the closes. We're just slowly drifting down. And of course, this is not a key reversal bar that we would A, trade, or B, I wouldn't be thinking it's a key reversal bar. But this question arose from a previous session. This leads us to D. Now, what do you think about this? Is D a good place for a long? And if so, why? Let's analyze the chart. So we drive up from A to 2, a good solid drive from support with good buying. However, we end negative on this bar. It's like a key reversal bar, a bearish key reversal bar at the highs. We pop above, reverse, close weak, deep into this bar. Okay, and then as we come back down to B, so from 2 to B, we come back down. How do we notice? Well, shortening of the thrust in closes. And from the lows from B to 3, we rally up. And what do we have here? We end in a top reversal action. Yet the very next bar, so from this top reversal action here, what's happening? This very next bar, it's checked. There's no continuation. We net this much progress. However, the close is middle. Although technically a down bar, we're closing well off the lows after this negativity, and we're in this area of negativity here. And then the next couple of bars, our closes hold. There's a mini cluster there. Why are we not making lower lows? Okay, there's no downside follow through from this top reversal. Interesting, something to note. Then from C to 4, we have another top reversal action with even a weaker second bar. Now we're thinking, okay, perhaps weakness here, top reversal here, a better top reversal here. Now we're thinking we're going to come down, or perhaps a test here again. However, the very next bar, D, dips under, reverses to close firm. So after these top reversals, what's happening? We hold, cluster closes. After this one, we hold. Then we have another cluster of closes. The market is unable to react. The buyers are instantly snubbing the weakness, the selling. The question remains, well, the question in my mind is, why are we not making lower lows from this negativity? We get the opposite. Think about this. Here, no downside follow through. Here, no downside follow through. And what are we doing? We're actually making higher lows. That's the exact opposite of what we expect to see from this negativity. We're holding. So now we need to dig a little deeper, and we can use our comparative and analysis from 2 to B, from 3 to C, and 4 to D. Look at this. Here, wave down, wave down, wave down. The selling pressure, the selling waves down, the selling pulses or pushes down are getting weaker. And we're holding higher lows. Now we've made this analysis, something is very suspect. We're not making any downside progress. The selling waves are becoming shorter and shorter, whilst the buying is becoming more aggressive. What do I mean? Well, we come down here and we push up. Okay? Then we come down here and we instantly check and we push. Here we can't even come down, and we're making progress on this bar. We're closing deep in to the previous negativity, which we were not doing here or here. This analysis here, it may seem a little complicated, but we can take it further still by adding more structure and an apex. Now we add structure, all becomes clear. We have an apex holding on top of supports with a spring at the lows that drives the market into new highs, preceded by a back up to the edge of the creek setup that successfully tests for supply, that again drives up into new highs. So we have two solid legs of buying preceded by an apex, and within the apex, what have we noted? That the selling waves are getting shorter and shorter, with evidence of demand on these bars as we're holding support. Isn't this amazing? The insights that we can get from this comparative and relative analysis are so powerful. We have briefly covered apexes previously, and if we miss this trade here, we can trade the springboard bar, which we go through the middle of the apex, and we see this mini cluster here. This is called being on the springboard, which we will discuss in depth next session. And just note here that we have, the highs, we're making higher highs and higher lows, clustering of closes, we're at support, selling waves are getting shorter. We have all this strength behind this, as we've already previously said. So we can take the trade here, here, or here very comfortably, and this is a 15-minute time frame. The market gives us 45 minutes to enter. Think about that, 45 minutes to enter. This could not be any clearer. So the these three bars being on the springboard, again we will discuss that next week, is beautiful. So next session we'll discuss and we'll analyze apexes in their entirety, and we will learn how to trade them. But before this, we need to understand the volume bar volume relationship, the context being the background conditions, and of course our comparative and relative analysis. So the comparative and relative analysis here is very, very important, because we're at support, so we're at a structural location where we're holding, and our comparative analysis, we can see that the selling waves are getting shorter within our apex, along with this bullish price action here. So these three bars are a gimme trade. Excellent. This concludes our amalgamation study, and indeed our studies for today. I apologize, we've overran by an hour and 15 minutes again. But before we go, There are suggested assignments. These are self-explanatory. Find 3 hidden upthrusts, find 3 hidden tests or springs, 2 bullish key reversals, 2 bearish key reversals. Now, I understand that time is a factor, as it is for most of us. And the point of these assignments is so when I review your work, I understand or try to get an insight into the way that you're working in your mind, so I can see that you understand the concepts and principles with clarity. However, as I said, time is a factor. The comparative and relative studies are key, are paramount. They take a lot more effort, and they're extremely, extremely important for our studies going forward, and indeed in our day-to-day live environment. So please, if I was to pick 2, I would do these studies here. If you have any further questions, please feel free to email me as soon as you can, and try and send in the assignments at least 2 days before our next session. Thank you very much. Take care now.